Christmas show, it's time for the Sarah Christmas show. Take off your pants, eat a sloppy Joe. It's time for the Sarah Christmas show. Ooh, yeah.
So I'm here with three of the chaps from Oso Closo. This is Chris McQueen, Adrian Hewlett, and Danny Garcia. And we've been noshing on some Greenhouse, and we are talking about their upcoming album. Very, very excited about it. Today is Beauty's birthday. Adrian, tell me about how you came together with this album. This is your second album, correct? All right, tell me a little bit about this.
Well, we've been touring pretty extensively on our first record, Rest, and Chris and I... This is Chris. Chris and I drove out to Caddo Lake. It's like right on the border of Louisiana and Texas, and like got a cabin and just like stayed there for a week and wrote this new album. Basically, just kind of sat down and did it, and it's pretty monumental, I think, for us, because it's like it's not really as much of a collection of songs as it is sort of like a complete piece of music. I feel like, anyway, because there's definitely a concept. It's sort of a love letter, and you know, we made friends with this producer named Jason Cupp during the remix of our previous album, and he got really excited about the music, and we played him some demos, and so he decided to come on board with us, you know, and basically do this album. So we, through like a miracle of favors, basically got ourselves a studio for a month and just went in and just went absolutely ballistic with it. We, you know, set everything up live and just like pounded through. Like, poor Chris didn't sleep for like the entire month, like arranging string parts and wind parts and stuff like that. And so now we're finished with the recording part of it, but next stage is sort of getting it pressed, getting it out, you know, and we're still staying indie because of sort of the state of things, and it just helps us to retain a certain amount of creative control, which maybe we need too much of, I don't know, but yeah, so I mean, basically that's the story of the album. It's beautiful. You're gonna love it, really. Everybody, you're gonna love it, I promise. It's really great.
Exactly. Are you guys okay? So the album is going to come out. You're still mastering it and everything. We don't have it yet. It's just mounting anticipation. Are you planning a tour this fall to support this? When are you guys going to be hitting the road next?
We're planning to head out. We're planning to like release the record sort of like first week of school being back in, you know, when everybody's back in town, and then yeah, we'll head out through the Midwest right after that in September, and do some southern dates and stuff like that, and then hopefully, you know, God willing, we'll hit the West Coast after that or something like that. I don't know. Beyond the next Midwest tour, we don't have anything planned, but, you know, except for world domination and stuff like that. So
you actually held a fundraiser to pay for this album because you had a vision that was, you know, fairly epic. And you really wanted to like just go all out for what your creative ideas were for this. And so you actually let people like me and other fans hop in on the process about that. Chris, why don't you tell me about that a little bit?
Yeah, so we were basically hoping to get people involved and help out beforehand, and do sort of like a pre-order thing where there's like different levels. So based on how much you donate, then you get like some sort of extra awesome Oso Closo related prize, which is like either like cigar box full of cool stuff, or like a photo book, or Danny himself will come visit your house and play a song for you.
Foley, you guys all live, except for you've moved out, but mostly live in like an Oso compound up on a hill. It's kind of cryptic. It's pretty cool though. There's some rock and gems. It is very poetic, very, very poetic. Danny, what's it like? Have you ever lived with the band that you're working with before?
Hi, I'm Danny. I'm new in Oso Closo. I like to skip breakfast and lunch for cigarettes and coffee, and like to play a good round of tennis in my off time. I joined this band by drawing cartoons on their MySpace until they let me in. You know, life's a competition, you know, survival of the fittest. So that's that. Living in the house is good. McQueen doesn't live there anymore. That's sad. Instead, this songwriter named Hillary moved in. He's really cool. Andy and Rachel have like a loft in the back of the house, and it's like sort of connected to the jam room where all the Oso practicing happens. And it's like really sort of like Soviet setup, sort of. It's like, you know, the rooms are like in the back, little squares, and then there's like a bathroom that's kind of crappy, and then like a living room that's sort of crappy as well. But it's like filled with so much love and good music that it's like, it's great. It's a lot of fun.
So today, when I was doing some research, I've known you guys for a few years, but I decided that I would be pseudo-professional and actually do a little bit of research before this. And I came across this review that said that you guys attack each song like it's the last one you'll ever play. And the Fort Worth Star-Telegram said that. And that's so true. There's a lot of reviews out there, but every now and then you'll read one that's just like, yeah, that's exactly. I mean, like, that's what the live experience is of seeing you guys. It's just like, this is the last time that we're going to play. And I think that translates. And I've seen you so many times, and I think that translates so well, like, every time. Do you actually, I mean, is that something that you, like, decide that you're going to do, or is that just kind of because you're so intense?
Probably a combination of those, I guess, because I think that it kind of depends on a lot of factors. Like, if there's a high energy show already happening, or like there's tons of people and the room is packed full of people, and it's just like one of those nights, then it doesn't really take any like thought at all. It just kind of happens that way. And the music is built to be like that. Like, it's not mellow music, obviously. Like, pretty much every song has to go to a certain point for it to feel right. Yeah, that particular point. So, like, but I do think that, like, we've also, like, got a bit of a mantra that we've tried to keep in mind, like, on a subconscious and sometimes conscious level of, like, yeah, like, going for it, like, no matter what. Like, the rock and roll mentality of, like, there's no excuse to ever, no matter how few people are in the room, there's no excuse to ever not be bringing it all the way. Because otherwise, there's like, it's not like we're getting paid well and like playing, you know, this isn't like a good job or anything. So it's like, if we're not going to do it for that reason, then why would we do it? So, you know, I feel like, yeah, I think we all kind of have that mentality of bringing it. Danny's dad has a saying, even half a house deserves a good show. So sometimes we'll just remind ourselves, even half a house. Or even an empty house. Half a house would be nice sometimes.
You know, after enough years of playing in a band, lots of your core fan base have seen you play enough times, you know, to stop coming. And the only way to really hang on to those people, you know, and not have them get, you know, bored with you is just to keep pushing yourself to a new level. And if that's the kind of attitude that people have towards Oso, then I feel like we've achieved what we're trying to achieve. If you feel like, yeah, I just saw them 3 weeks ago in Dallas, but they're playing in Denton tonight, and every single time I go, it's something better, and it's something, they're pushing themselves further than before, then yeah, I mean, I think that's the way that I approach it, at least. And I feel like everybody else does too. I feel like that's across the board, and that's why it works for us.
So, again, this is Oso Closo. You want to come out to Haley's July 18th. They're going to be playing with RTB2 and Pentagrass. It's going to be the first My Denton Music concert. It's going to be amazing. They're going to melt your face. I know I say that a lot about them, but that really happens. That really happens when I see your show. My face melts a little bit every time. I am going to have significant amounts of plastic surgery. Guys, thank you so much for being on the show. This is exciting. I'm very excited about the show, July 18th. I can't wait for the album. Everybody go to osocloso.com. There is a link. You can donate and be a part of the rock history that is today's Beauty's birthday. Have a little piece of it. I mean, throw in. Tell them that I sent you and let them, and then I can be on their music video, right? They said so.
Yeah, totally.
Excellent.
Christmas show, it's time for the Sarah Christmas show. Gas up the minivan, here we go, it's time for the Sarah Christmas show.